Good morning, everyone. This is Marg from Creative Stamping with Marg. I'm just hopping on quickly today to share a real fun card with you using, you can see the bundle that I have on my desk, Cheers and Sips, and the Celebratory Sips Designer Series paper. Okay, first we'll just talk about the new paper pumpkin for this month. So this is the new paper pumpkin that needs to be subscribed by August the 10th if you're interested, called Farmhouse Florals. It is going to be making 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs. The description says, send whimsical cards featuring flowers nestled in delightfully unexpected places. So that piques your interest, doesn't it? You can see on the stamp set that they're showing here that there's a teapot, and it looks like there's words, and this one is the only one I can read that says always here for you. Looks like there's flowers, a bunch of flowers, some leaves, some more words, but I can't read those. It also includes a free stamp set this month. So that's interesting. It says there are sentiment stamps for the inside and outside of the card. So I'm not sure what that all means. Also, there will be linen thread with this one, so that's a nice addition. The dies that coordinate with this one are the Circle of Seasons dies. Not sure which dies are going to coordinate with it. Maybe the hello this time, I'm not sure. The item number on this is 167277, and these are 1650 if you're interested. Okay, look forward to seeing that one. All right, let's get on to our card. So I'm just going to put this to the side, and we are making what my upline Lillian calls a book fold with a front flap. So your card base, which I'm using Darling Duckling today, is 4 1/4 by 11. We are scoring it at 5 1/2, 6 3/4, and 8 7/8. So remember, all these measurements will be underneath the video for you. Okay, so a traditional book fold, this part here will be glued together, and so the card would just open like this. But this one has a little extra on it. We've got an extra flap going this way. So we also need an extra piece of Darling Duckling that is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. That will be our extra flap for the front. We need a piece of basic white that is 3 by 4 1/8. We need some fun paper, and I said I'm using Celebratory Sips paper, which has all the, if you haven't seen it, has all this fun stuff on it. All the summer drinks and lemonades and wine bottles, and there's this piece with all the fun drinks on it, and there's just, it's a really fun paper, a really great one for the summer, I think. And you can use your dies to cut a lot of the pieces out, and a lot of fussy cutting that can be done with this one. All right, so we need 2 pieces that are 1 by 4 1/8 of Designer Series paper, and I've chosen the smaller pattern for this one. You also need 1 piece that's 3 by 4 1/8, and 2 pieces that are 1 7/8 by 4 1/8. So I've chosen the back pattern of that paper. It has the cloud cover, like stars almost on it. Okay, and then I've done some die cutting and fussy cutting to decorate the front, but I've also cut from the Stylish Shapes dies, the largest square. I've cut a piece of cloud cover, and I put it through the corrugated embossing folder. So that's going to go on the front. So that's the, I have in here, that's the largest square out of this one right there. Okay. All right, so let's get to putting this together. Move all these pieces out of the way. We'll start, I think, with assembling our card with all the different Designer Series paper. I'll bring in my silicone mat. And first off, I think I'm going to glue the book fold closed. So this is how a book fold works. You just add some glue to that and close it so that it looks like a book when you're opening this, like it has a binding. So on that binding, we're going to put one of these 1-inch strips. It's pretty on the back too, strawberry slush. So we shall put this on like this, just giving yourself equal borders all the way around. That. And I'm going to open the card. We want the white piece is going to go on the inside. I'm going to do some decorating to it, so I'm not going to put it in yet, but I'm just going to put it like that. And the other 1-inch piece is going over here, and it should somewhat match the look of that piece, meaning the border wise. So I'm just going to take the white piece out and put this in. So the edges, your right side edge and the top and the bottom should mimic that one. So however much space you left on that one should be the same on this one. Just like that. Okay, there we go. And then these 1 7/8 inch pieces, they go here and on the inside. That's why they're the same measurement. I'll go ahead and put those on. This is a really quick card to put together once you have your card base scored and all your pieces cut out. And again, we're just, the top and the bottom is the part that you want to look the same here. Make sure you've got your same distance there. That one, and we can put this one in. I have a really croaky throat this morning. It's a very cloudy day here. We've had some really warm weather, but today is going to be a bit cloudier and not quite so warm, which I welcome. I do like the heat, but it's also nice to have a day that just is a nice cool day. Now our front piece, we're going to glue this onto our front piece. This is that extra piece of Darling Duckling we had. So I'm going to glue that right down. And it just goes on the front. So like I said, this going together. Now this one, the sides are a bit wider and the top and bottom is very small edge that you see of the yellow. Now this is going to go on here, just onto this flap. And theoretically, it should just fit on here. Typically what I do is I move it around a little bit because what I want to see when the card is closed is sort of equal amounts of yellow on each side. So if you actually match it to that edge of the flap, to me, that's wider than this. So I sort of slide mine over a little bit. So the only place you're going to put glue is right here. And I'm just thinking, do I want to glue this on? It's fine. I think we can decorate it after it's on here. You can either decorate that front flap first before you put it on, or you can put it on now. I'm going to go ahead and put it on now. So what I'm saying is I'm just moving it around a little bit that I want it to look, to my eye, the same amount of yellow on each side. Okay, so that's how it looks. There you go. So it stands like this, sort of like a Z fold in a way, but that's basically the card. So now let's get to the decorating of it. I showed you that I had done this piece of cloud cover with the corrugated folder. Now I've done a bunch of experimenting with this. You can use these dies and cut out a lot of things out of the paper. It matches those cup dies, match this piece. Now, if you cut this one out, you're going to cut off your greenery, but there's a lot of cups that have nothing in them, so you can cut them out with this die. There's the tall glass, and again, you can cut the tall glasses out of this. And there's another piece that has the garnishes on it that you can cut the garnishes out. So there's a lot of die cutting you can do, but you can also fussy cut a lot of this, which I did. But I wanted to show you this piece of paper, which you can see is very cut up. It just has these splotches of color, but you can imagine that you could cut the shorter ones out. And if you leave a little bit of white at the top, it looks like the glass is not quite full. And the same with the tall ones. So what I did, there are stamps that match this. These glasses. Out of here. There's this one. And there's this one. Okay. So what I did was I stamped first with Versamark onto the glasses like this and like this. Like I said, leaving a little white at the top so the glass looks like it's not quite full. And I stamped it with Versamark and then heat set white powder on it. There are also ice cubes in here, and there's, oh sorry, maybe you can't see, too shiny. Ice cubes, and there's an olive, there's a berry, there's a cherry, strawberry. This, I imagine, is a piece of lavender. There's some greeneries. There's citrus. So what I did is I took the citrus and I took the ice cubes and I stamped them on these glasses with Versamark and used white. And this is what I got. And then I die cut them out with the dies. This is what I got. Aren't they cute? So that was a little bit of stamping. I hadn't done much stamping. I was doing a lot of fussy cutting. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to try this. So that's what I did. And I think they turned out really neat. So this is all heat embossed. Okay, so I'm going to use these glasses on the front of my card. So my thought was that I didn't know if I wanted to put it straight or I can put it at an angle, and it doesn't matter if it goes off the edges, which is kind of interesting, I think. Maybe at a funny angle like that. And I'm going to put these glasses on here, and then we're going to decorate them. So what do you think of that? Do you think that offset looks good? Should I leave it square? It kind of looks like a mat or a tray, I thought, underneath here. Maybe I'll leave it straight. All right, so if I'm going to leave it straight, I'll go ahead and I will put it on. Now, remember, this is a corrugated embossing folder, so it requires a little bit of extra glue, and try not to squish it down too much because you don't want to squish the corrugated. I'm going to drop it down a little bit so it's not quite centered. I'm going to do it like that. Okay. So my thought was to put these glasses like this. Now, I'm just going to get a block to sit on there so it doesn't keep popping up on us. I should have maybe done the decorating first so that you could see it, but that's okay. I have cut out various things. There is an umbrella stamp, and there is a coordinating die to cut the umbrella out. There is, I'll show you with the dies. There's the umbrella die right there. And there's this stick which coordinates with one of the stamps, and I think it's to hold your garnishes or your olive. Usually has a toothpick. So I cut it out of crumb cake, and I cut my umbrella out of one of these cups to get the orange paper. That's Timid Tiger, and I stamped it with the Timid Tiger, and then I stamped, there's little tiny words in here. To you, to us, it's your day, let's celebrate and cheers. But I wanted something small, so I put to you and stamped it with Secret C right on the umbrella. So my thought is that's my greeting for the front of this. I'm going to tuck that in there, and I'm going to put my umbrella on top of it like that. And that's going to be our greeting. Now, I've cut, like I said, I've cut a bunch of things out. So I want to decorate the inside white piece too. So I thought the inside white piece, I've got one of the lemons cut out, and I cut some of these berries out. I thought that was cute to put in the inside. But for the outside of this, the umbrella on the one lemonade glass, and then on this glass, I cut this piece of, well, I'm going to say it's orange rind, and it can just go over the top of the glass like that. And then I have a berry and the strawberries. And I thought, you know how sometimes your cup comes decorated with all the fruit? I thought I might, whoopsie, do that. So that was my thought on this. And I'm going to decorate this cup up like this. Okay, so these are really fruity drinks, right? Okay, so let's take that all off of here, and I can assemble them down here, I think. I'll do the umbrella first. And I liked the fact that this stick has, of course, a little end on it. I didn't stamp it because I don't want it to look like a toothpick, but it will hold this umbrella nicely, I think. I will put it on straight because it would typically would look like that, and then it's going to get tucked into our drink. Okay, we'll let that dry a bit. Now this piece of rind is just needing to be a little bit of glue on here and a little bit of glue on here, like that. And I'm tucking it in the drink. Whoops, too much glue. Like that. And I think I'm going to try to tuck the strawberries into this. Or maybe I do the berry in that one. Tuck the berry in there and the strawberries on the other side. Okay, sticking to my fingers here. I'm going to lift that up a bit because I think I'd like to tuck the berries here and this berry right here. If I can get it in there. All thumbs today, just like that. That'll stay there. And then I'm going to tuck the strawberries in here. So I think I just need a little bit of glue on the strawberry right here. And of course, this is all going to get glued down once we put it on our, just glue it like that. That looks great. All right. And then this, we're going to tuck into here about like that, I think, but I need to look at my card again. Bring my card back. Just thinking, I don't know that I'm going to use dimensionals only because there is quite, you've got extra thickness in this, but I think I might just round just using my take your pick tool to round this a little bit. When I glue it down, oh, maybe it will, without dimensionals. Just going to give it a little bit of dimension, the cup. Okay, and the glass. All right, so I think I will just glue the edges down and then it will sit up a little bit. I'm thinking, hoping. And the bottom a little, leaving, sorry, oh, I'm all thumbs today. Leaving that kind of, and again, I've left the top open so I can tuck that umbrella in because I just wasn't sure where I wanted that umbrella to be positioned. So if I am putting a little bit of glue on the fruit so that it will stick down. I think we need it to stick down. Whoops, it's going to take a minute for the glue. Okay, and then I'm just going to tuck this in here. All right, I might even just give my umbrella a little bit of a, you know, I might put a dimensional on the back of the umbrella just because I like the look of it. And the dimensionals here, one dimensional on the back of it will make it look really cute. And it's the only thing that's sticking up. I think that'll be okay. And, oops, then I want, so this, you need some glue on the back of your stick here and put it right down inside your glass at some kind of an angle that you like. And I can just stick it down like that. I think that looks good. There we go. What do you think? I love it. I think it turned out really good. Really good. This is a really fun suite to play with. All right. I'm not stamping anything on the inside, but I am going to put this fruit down just on the corner here, because I thought with the words to you, it could be a birthday, it could be congratulations, it could be just about anything. So I thought it's kind of a fun saying on the front, and nice and small, fits on the umbrella, which I love. So I didn't need a separate greeting piece for this one. All right, we're going to glue this white inside. If you are stamping on this, you could have stamped the word cheers. That's on that stamp set. The other words are it's your day, let's celebrate. You could use any of those words. All right, so I'm just opening this up, and you can see you can open it all the way and lay this flat. And then I'm going to put this in just with that little edge here. Like I said, this is a great card for the summertime. Got any summer birthdays, these would be great. Can't believe it's already the middle of July. Half of July is over already, and if you know where I live, I spend a lot of time in winter here, so we really appreciate our July and August. So hard to believe it's half over. Anyway, there is our card. I will show you some other ones that I've made as samples, but that is a fun one, isn't it? Love it. Okay, so there's that one. This was the one that we made at a meeting. This is older paper. I'm sure you recognize it. And so you can see there's paper here. There's paper here. And she even has a strip of paper here, which I did not do on the inside of mine. She had another piece of paper right there. You can do that if you like. It would be another 1-inch piece of paper. So there's that one. And then I've also made this one, which is very similar to this one. So those were all the different variations that I did. Definitely didn't want to do pink today. So we've got a pink thing going on there. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hope everybody's having a great summer so far, and hope to see you next week.